Well, good morning, everybody. As the late Louisiana chef Justin Wilson used to say, how y'all is? Hope everything is going well with you today. I'm Pastor Randy Fry from Gower Christian Church, coming to you from Studio 2B in the massive Gower Christian Media Complex. I was driving through the neighborhood yesterday afternoon. It was a glorious afternoon here in northwest Missouri, and had the windows down and the music going, and one of the neighborhood kids yells out to me, "You need a haircut." It took me back to high school. The only difference was that it wasn't Santana or the Allman Brothers blaring from my stereo speakers. But he's right, I do need a haircut. I miss getting over to Witt's Barbershop and having that conversation with Jared and getting my hair cut. So I do need it. But it kind of raised the question for me today. What do you need? What are your needs right now? We're a little over a month into the coronavirus quarantine precautions. And as I've just been watching and listening to people, watching Facebook posts, and you know what? There's a little bit more anxiety. There's a little more annoyance with the inconveniences. Perhaps just really sensing a need, if not anything else, for social interaction with other people, not just your family. But there's a lot of needs out there. I don't know what food needs or financial needs there are, but they're out there. And of course, always an invitation to contact us at Gower Christian if you have a need. But it recalled to my mind Paul's words about need in Philippians chapter 4. He lived hand to mouth, and he did his mission work relying on people who to get him through, and he worked when he could. But he wrote this in Philippians chapter 4. He said, "For I have learned how to be content with whatever I have. I know how to live on almost nothing or with everything. I have learned the secret of living in every situation, whether it is with a full stomach or empty, with plenty or little. For I can do everything through Christ who gives me strength." We've probably all heard that last little bit there, but he was talking about having his needs supplied, and that whatever his circumstances, Christ gave him the strength to deal with it. It was to Christ whom he looked to help him in every circumstance. And that's an important lesson for us to hear. And later on, at the end of this little conversation he had about his need, and an expression of gratitude to Christians who were giving to his mission, he said this, "And this same God who takes care of me will supply all your needs from his glorious riches, which have been given to us in Christ Jesus." The riches of God have their fullest expression in Jesus Christ. And it's through Christ that we receive all that we need. I think there's a phrase that talks about the all-sufficiency of Christ. I've been reading this great book by the theologian Dallas Willard. And Dallas Willard it's a book called Life Without Lack, and it's a study of Psalm 23. And he made this important point. The God who took the chaotic energy and formed it into the universe at his word That God who raised Christ from the dead, who has power over life and death, has the power and the desire, the care for us to supply whatever we need. That's the God that we follow. That's the Christ whom we follow. The Christ who gives us strength. The Christ who cares enough to supply all our need. Keep that in mind in these days ahead. When you are sensing need, go to Christ, who supplies and gives us strength. Just to update you, I forgot to start my timer today, but I can see it's about time to wrap up. So just a reminder that for Gower Christian, our online worship continues through at least May 17th, that Sunday, and there aren't going to be any public meetings or in-person meetings or gatherings or use of the AFC at least through May 17th. Bible study continues online through Zoom, and if you don't have that information, you can certainly contact me or the church office to get that. Youth are still meeting Sunday evenings at 7, also on Zoom, and contact Laura Evans if you need the Zoom meeting information for that. Please keep in mind Ernie Lawrenson. We'll continue to pray for him as he's going through some health testing and now has some surgery scheduled for next week. We want to continue to pray for Kelly Barnett, who is a traveling nurse. This is the daughter-in-law of Michelle and Kevin Barnett, and she is working in New Jersey, right in the heart of the coronavirus stuff. So please remember Kelly Barnett. Also, we're praying for some families. The family of Dean Rogers, the husband of one of my wife's college roommates who passed away quite unexpectedly this week. We're praying also for Joyce Allen. This is Kevin Barnett's sister who passed away after dealing with cancer. And for Charles Meyer. This is Marlon Meyer's uncle who's passed away. Remember those folks in your prayers, and continue to pray for the ministry of our church and for the ministry in our community. And until we meet again, from Studio 2B, Randy Fry, I bid you peace.